Okay. So let me explain the class and list of IDs again. So I've created two tables here. So this is the first table, then the second table. This is the second table. So in my CSS, when I call table, like with the name the table, when I call table, meaning that all tables in my web page should pick this style, that's with 70%, and margin of photo, meaning it should be at the center. So all my tables should be at the center and also have the width of 70%. Hope you understand that one.
Okay.
So we did that and we have the results. So it has the width of 70% and also it's at the center of my screen or our screen. So this time around, I want to style only one of the table. I don't want both tables to pick the same stars. I don't want both of the table to pick the same style. So I can use the ID. So I created an ID for the first table with the name student. And remember that in our CSS, when you want to call an ID, we use the hash sign, then the name of the ID, like this. So in styling, when I want to call the first table, so I can call the first table by using the hash sign, then the name of the ID. So student, like this. So within this student, I can give it a property then a value. Please hope you understand.
Hmm.
Can I move on?
Yeah.
So I'll not clean the table, but they're like this CSS that I did for the table. But this time around, I can choose to give only the first table a background color. So I'll give it something like maybe blue, like this. I'll save it, then move to my browser, refresh. I can see that my first table has a background of blue. This time around, the second table did not pick the same style as compared to the first one that I did, that they were all centered and it contained the weight of 70%. Please hope you understand.
Please open the code.
Okay.
Okay. So it means for me when I run it, I'm getting only one table. I
You are
don't know.
getting you are getting only one table.
Only one table.
I created two tables, so I don't know how many tables that you created. How many tables do you have?
I have only the browser displays only one.
That's why I created two tables. This is the first one, and it ends at this place. And I have a second one, which contains the parent
Let me
name.
see this one. Let me see this one.
Okay.
Okay. So you created two.
Yeah.
Uh, still,
Please share your screen.
all right. This was the first one. This is the first table. Hello
Look
there.
at something. Clean the style in your first table.
The
Take it off.
star.
Yeah.
Oh,
Close the table.
and then
Close the table.
I
Greater
should clean
than.
the table.
Greater than. Greater than. No, not
Greater
that.
than.
The opening tag.
Hello. Okay.
Not
No,
that. Not
for the
that. Not
one
that.
on top. For the one on top.
I'm not getting it. I'm confused.
Okay, yeah,
Leave
leave
the
that one. Leave
leave
the
the TR.
TR. Yeah,
I
the
should
one
leave
on
it.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Now
And the table on
the table.
18. 18. The table.
The 18. I should clean it.
No.
No, add a greater
Greater
than
than.
sign.
Okay.
Then now bring your opening T head under the table.
Yeah.
Under the table.
Under the table.
Before
Under the
the
table.
before the TR.
It's like this.
T head, not TH.
It's like this.
Yeah. Now save it and run it.
So this is the first table. Huh?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. This is the first table.
Yeah.
And the second one that I did was this.
Okay. So now save it and run it.
Like this. This one is different from this.
When I'm seeing some information, nation rule, I don't know. Top left.
Hello. I should open it.
The top left corner of your browser. something something
Hello.
Yeshiru.
Hello.
Hello.
Get my notes.
Um, Look at something. For the first row that table that you created, you did not close it,
This one.
and you've created another table. Not that one.
This was the please. This was the first table
Scroll
that I
down.
created.
Scroll down. Scroll down.
Should I go down?
Down. Yeah.
The
So
second
look
table.
at the T foot. You didn't close
Okay.
that table. So bring the closing tag for the first
Uh,
table.
so the closing tag for
For
this,
the first
the
table
T
that
foot.
no,
Uh,
table that you created. So less than forward slash then table.
this one.
No, the first table that you created.
Which
The
please? Which
T
number?
foot. This T foot 61.
Okay.
So beneath it,
The open one is this. I should
you
clean
not
it.
no. The table, the closing tag for the first table, you didn't create it. So add it on the next
I
line.
should hide this.
No. Right after the closing tag of the T foot,
Uh-huh.
the closing tag of the T foot. That's line 61.
Uh-huh.
So you close the
This one is. Uh-huh.
leave it,
I
then
should
move
open.
to leave it and move to the next line.
I should move to the next. What number?
Line. So 62.
Okay.
Then
So I should
the
open
less
another
than,
foot.
then less than, then forward slash, not T foot. No. I said less
And
than
then
forward slash, not T foot. Less than forward slash. No. Take that the T foot that we created. Take it away.
hello.
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 I said take the tag that you've created right now. Take it off.
The table that I created
No, the T foot.
or the
That's
tag.
so less than with forward slash,
And then
forward slash. That's it.
first like okay.
So save it.
I don't know where this one comes. This
Which
one.
one? That is the T
This
foot.
one. The
T
new.
foot. That's the T foot.
Uh, so I can.
You can take it off.
Okay. Okay. So that this one.
Um, yeah.
Okay.
Please take the line 52 and 53. Please take
This
it off.
line.
It's appearing in your browser at the far left corner,
Uh,
far top left corner. It's appearing there. So now let's see the CSS.
So
Okay.
this is that it.
Yeah.
So the CSS. Uh,
So with the CSS, all tables would take background green. So bring the semicolon. Okay, then with 70%, then margin auto. So save it, then refresh. Refresh your browser. So you see
initially,
that,
this is what I was seeing.
yeah. So you've seen that all the two tables have taken the same weight and the same background.
Yes.
So you can now move back to your CSS. So you can decide to change. You can decide to take off the background, which is the green.
This one.
Yeah,
The background. I can decide to take
take
off the
it
background.
down.
Hello.
Take it. You can take it off.
Hello.
Hello. Take it off.
Okay.
That background green is conflicting with the.
I don't persuade.
Okay. Or better so, leave it, undo it, leave it, leave the background green. So you've not given your table an ID. So from your course, you don't have any tag with the ID student. So you have to set it on line 6 and line 19.
So should I make it
No,
student?
inside the opening tag of the table. So ID. No,
ID.
yeah, ID is equal to, yeah, so student. So save it.
Okay.
So you see that the table with an ID, students have taken the blue color.
Okay.
So
All right.
the ID differentiates the first table from the second table.
Okay.
Okay.
With the same style.
Yeah. Best you give the table, you give the tag with the name table the same style. So it's just the color that will differentiate, unless you change the style. So please, is there any other questions?
All right. Up to this point, yes.
So let's move
Please,
on.
please, thank you. My network was disturbed.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay. So at this point, I would like to take off the second table and concentrate much on the first table. So I'll take it off. That's the second table. Okay, so I can now give So this time around, um, I have 4 rows. Let me say it. So I have 4 rows. First on John, Kwame, John and Kwame. So I want to give the first and the third one class, then the second and then the fourth the same class. So the first this one, that's the John. So I'll give it a class with the name. So first and third. So I can choose something like odd, and second and then fourth. So class odd. Then the second and the fourth, the same class. So I can choose even. Then the fourth one, class even. So I'll say now let me move to my CSS. Or I should wait a little bit.
Please wait.
Okay. So the first one with the class odd.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I will take, since I have only one table, I'll take this one off. So I can choose to give it um, the table. I can choose to leave it like that. So let's look at the, so I'll refresh. So this, so I want to select the TR, that's the table row, TR. So I want to give it a space around it. So I can choose to give it a padding of something like 10 pixels. So I want space around it. I'll save it, move to my browser. It's not taking effect. If the 10 is small, let me increase the size and let me see. So the table row is not working, so I'll choose the one that is close to it. So I'll choose the TD, that's the table definition like that. And let me check. Okay, we have the space. It's too much. So let me take it back to the 10. Okay, so we have spaces around it. So again, with the TD, you can even give it borders. So I can use border um, 1 pixel solid black like this. Save it, then refresh. So we can see we have borders around the TD. That is the table definitions like this. So you can single each and every table definition out with the help of using of IDs. But at this point, I don't need um, the TDs or the border style. I don't need it. Okay, so now from what I want to do, I want to give the first and then the third different color, and from the second and the fourth. I want to give the first and then the third a different color from the second and the fourth. So as I did,
And say, why my table so close like that?
the table so close.
Or
Um,
you zoom yours?
I'll zoom my screen. So this is the original size,
Ah,
100%, 100% view.
you say move on. So tomorrow you will see.
Okay. So my CSS, I'll call all those with the class odd. I'll give it a background color of something like um, gray, like this. And I can choose to give all those with the class even. I can choose to also give it a different color. So background, maybe white. So I'll save it, then move to my browser and refresh. So you've seen that um, all those with the rows with the class even odd have a background color of gray. So we have this line in it because it has a borders. So we can take the borders off. So in a TD, we can state that border 0 pixels. So the okay, let's take this off and we'll come back to it. So I can change this white color and give it any color that I want. So we have this um, background. So in my TR, in CSS, we have something called on hover, which means when I move the mouse over that particular thing, so I can choose something like Alt TR when I move the mouse over it. So to say that we use the column, then the name hover, which means when I move the mouse over it. So when I move the mouse over it, what are the properties that I want to give to the TR? You can choose to give it a background. So you can then apply styles that you want. So I can give it a background of something like, I'll choose a hexadecimal color, something which is faint black. So
Is
save
that a
it.
color?
Yeah.
Is that a color? What color is that?
Um, this is a hexadecimal color. We have three in CSS. We can apply colors in various form. We have the RGB, that is the red, green, and blue. So with that, we can state that maybe background. So instead of something like this, background, then I'll state that RGB like this. So RGB is something like a gradient color. We can apply a gradient color using the RGB. So how many red do I want? So I want something like 100 red, 50 green, then maybe 150 blue. I'll save it, then refresh. So you see, this is the color that I created with a combination of those three figures. That's the 150, then 150. So I can choose to give the red 100 and give this one 0 to take out a green color. So with this type of color, I don't have green in it, so I can save it,
It is.
refresh. Then I have something like this.
Yes.
So I can set the blue also to 0. So now my color consists of only red, 100 red. I'll save it, refresh. So I have a red which is not a pure red because the numbers start from 0 to 255 or from 1 to 256. So if I want to see the red very well, I have to increase the number. So I can choose 200 red. Then I can see I have something like a pure or deep red. Please hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's move to the different set. So this is RGB. We can add A to it. So RGBA. That is red, green, blue, then transparency. So if you want a transparent color, we add the A. So it's the same as this RGB. This time around, I'll add A, then I'll come to the latter part, then add the level of transparency to it to 0.5. So I want a half transparency. So I'll save it, then I'll refresh. So I have a red color, but it's transparent. So it's something like a combination of red and then transparent, a little bit faint or a transparency in it. So with the transparency, if supposing I have a background which was to be a picture, I could have seen the picture through this color. And over the hover that I did, this means when I move the mouse over it, so I gave it the color. So you can see that it's changing in color when I move the mouse over it. So this is the hover. So this is the RGB. And let's move to the second part. We can give the color in CSS using color names. So the name of the color. So we can state something like red, yellow, then green. So you can choose to give it a color name, maybe pink like this. You can choose blue, yellow, green. These are colors. So refresh. So pink, I gave it a color of pink. That's by using color name. And we have the hexadecimal forms of color. That's the using of the hash sign. Then we have characters starting from 0 We use numbers starting from 0 to 9, then continuation from A to F, like this, A to F. So we can create this color using either by three sequence or by 6. So 0 refers to a black, deep black, and F is a pure white. So it ranges from 0 to F. So if you want to create a color, so I use the hash sign, then I have, so supposing I want to use the three characters. So with this, I have um, no, meaning no red, no green, and no blue. So it's a pure white, a pure black color. So if I give it F, which means full red, full green, and full blue. So the mixture of this will give me a pure white color. So I can mix this up to form a color. So I'll come here and I'll use the hash sign. So I want um, a full red, then 0 green, 0 blue. Then I'll save it, refresh my browser. I'll have a pure red color. Please hope you understand.
Yes.
So I can decide to give it a red and a green. So combination of red
Please,
and
can we have the note that you are preparing? Some of us we are some place.
notes.
The note that you are typing.
That's this one.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm not having any notes. I'm just maybe
I'm taking some notes over there.
unless I prepare a note, then put it inside the group. So combination of full red and full green will give us a different color. So we have a pure yellow. Combination of red and green will give us yellow. Then we have the last type, which is we have the HSL. That's the hue, saturation, and light. Hue, saturation, and light. So that's one too. As for hue saturation, I don't have much knowledge in it, so I don't know. But we begin this one too with HSL like this. Then you can choose a figure, maybe hue, then a little bit of saturation, then the number of light. So it's just as the RGBA. And this time around, hue, saturation, and light, not the red green system. So I have no color appearing because I don't know how it is formed, but it's similar, something like this, something like this. I don't have much knowledge in that one. Please hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with this, we can add more properties to tables and IDs that we have here to have a nice table. Is there any question?
No, sir.
Hmm. We have to end here. Our time is up, and we'll meet